All right, welcome to Unit 5. Let's start off by dealing with some coordinates. So, complete the following coordinates. Complete the following by writing the coordinates of the points represented by the letters on the grid. So let's start with A. Coordinates are always listed x-coordinate first, y-coordinate second. X-coordinate being horizontal axis left or right. So here we have point A, that is at 1, 2, positive 2 is our first coordinate. Then we deal with the vertical axis, the y-axis. So here we're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, positive 4. There is our coordinate. We can now do the same thing with B, which can be a tricky one because this is on one of the axes, and that can lead to some confusion. Remember, start with left or right, the x-axis. Here we're at -1, -2, -3. And we don't have to move up or down here. We're on the x-axis, which is where y is equal to 0. Remember that one for later. Now we'll get into C. It's way over here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for our y-coordinate, -1, -2, -3. It's on the negative side of the y-axis because it's below y equals 0. Now for D, which is right here, again, we start with moving left or right first. We start with the x-coordinate, which is 0. 0 is sitting on the y-axis. X equals 0 here. And for y, we have -1, -2, -3 yet again. Then we have point O for origin right in the middle here. The origin is point 0, 0. Next, we have, I'm going to change colors for this next one. There we go. Write the coordinates of the point in the second quadrant. Okay, the way this coordinate system works, called the Cartesian Plane, is if we picture that there's some sort of like an arm or almost like a clock hand or something like that. This is the starting position, and we move counterclockwise. That's how we count our quadrants. This is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. So quadrant 2 has one point in it, this one. So once again, x-coordinate first, -1, -2, and then the y-coordinate second, +1, +2, +3. Same thing, but for the point in quadrant 3. Quadrant 3 is this one here because we reach it first, second, third if we start rotating counterclockwise from this position. We have this one point, point F, and again, x-coordinate first, that's -4. Y-coordinate second, -3 yet again. Okay, this last question can be a bit strange. It's not always obvious what they're really asking for. What they're getting after is you can tell what quadrants a point is in depending on whether the x and y are positive or negative. In quadrant 1, we'll have a positive x-coordinate and a positive y-coordinate. For instance, point P here is +4 and +3. both the x and y are positive. Quadrant 2, our example was E here. That was -2 and +3. In quadrant 2, our x-coordinate will be negative, but our y-coordinate will be positive. I wasn't going to write the numbers there. Oh well, that's fine. This will be negative, this will be positive. Quadrant 3, like we have with F here, you'll notice both points were negative. Quadrant 3, both the x and y will be negative. And finally, for quadrant 4, like we have with point C right here, we've got a positive x term and a negative y term. This stuff can be handy for double checking your work, making sure that your signs match up to where the coordinates should be, and it's also really important in later math courses.